There is one important fact that we forget most in our lives. When people try to talk about this topic, they also swear at the person and make a face at someone who has mentioned it. And only a few books have ever spoken about it. The inconvenient truth that is more disturbing than global warming is called death. Many people think we live forever, without knowing that they could die tomorrow. We are never eternal. It's just a matter of time. After all, everyone closes their eyes. I know it's a difficult story to bring up. I also get cautious when I bring this up. However, I would argue strongly. Whether you are young, old, or healthy, you should talk to your precious people about death right now. There is one thing that is known about this, and another that is unknown. First of all, the more we think about death, the better off we can live. Many people care about so many things in their lives. The problem is, they care about such things, yet don't care about themselves. Because of the other person's point of view, because of their limitations, or because of many other factors, they are unwilling to choose or invest in really important values. It's not just you. People around us also live this finite life, worrying about how others would think about them. Isn't that unfortunate? However, if you are willing to accept the inconvenient truth of death and recognize the finite value of life, you can focus on the more precious values. You can make a firm decision. I was born in a village in Australia. When someone dies, my town invites people to a funeral, but I wasn't invited until I was 15. I was too young to talk about death. But by the time I was 15 years old, I was invited to a funeral. For me, she was my neighbor who was like my aunt. When she suddenly died of a heart attack, I went up to the podium and read the eulogy. It was the day when I first learned about death, and I still remember it decades after. However, I am still faithful to my life with that sadness, because I'm doing what I want to do. The second reason why you should talk about death now, and why many people don't know about it, is that your right to die should be protected. You have a right to good death. The criteria of good death I'm talking about is when all the following rights have been protected. How do you want to be remembered? How will your body be treated? How will your property be distributed? And how will the funeral proceed? When everything goes as you wish, that's what I call the good death. However, many people don't have their own opinions about death. In Australia, more than 45% of adults don't know anything about this. You may put it off as you're healthy right now, but the problem is you never know when you'll die. If you don't leave opinions about your death in advance, the people around you who are responsible for your funeral will have a very difficult time. People you love may be forced to move around the courthouse, for all people associated with your property will have arguments. Talk about death in advance with your favorite people. Never fear, feel awkward, or have resistance. Preparing for death, the biggest uncertainty in your life, will make your life certain.